In the episode Graveyard Shift, SpongeBob finds himself working the night shift at the Krusty Krab, only to be haunted by various oddities throughout the night, which are later all explained to be non-spooky coincidences. However, at the end of the episode, it is revealed that the final bit of spookiness was in fact caused by 1920s horror icon Nosferatu. Now, SpongeBob is no stranger to shoehorning in pop culture references to make a joke, but why did they land on such an obscure reference for this episode's punchline?
Nosferatu!
In order to understand this joke in SpongeBob SquarePants, we first need to touch on what SpongeBob SquarePants is. SpongeBob SquarePants is a comedy that was originally aired in Nah, I'm just fucking with you. We're not going that far back. The reason that we're taking a look at Graveyard Shift and why Nosferatu is featured at the end of it, aside from the interesting bit of trivia that has to do with him being featured at the end of it, is because this is my favorite episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. Without question. I understand that you have to give a tremendous amount of respect to the episode Band Geeks for being the comedic genius and magnum opus of SpongeBob SquarePants that it is, and I love that episode too.
This is my impression of Patrick Star when Squidward like shoves that trombone up his ass or something. I don't remember what happens.
But there's something so visceral about Graveyard Shift. There's something about seeing the Krusty Krab at night, as cheesy as it is to say, to see the outside of the building when SpongeBob's throwing away the dumpster, to see the bus stop as that random kid applying to become an employee walks into the store, to see Nosferatu at the end of the episode. Every bit of this expanded on what I thought I knew about the SpongeBob universe in a way that really felt magical watching it at 15 years old or however old I was. I want to point out, being the person that I am, just how many memes came from Graveyard Shift. Naturally, everybody remembers the hash-slinging slasher.
The sash ringing, the trash singing, mash flinging, the flash springing, ringing, the crash dinging, the...
Yes.
We all remember the oh boy 3 a.m.
Who wants a Krabby Patty at 3 in the morning?
Oh boy, 3 a.m.
Naturally, we remember the Nosferatu bit at the end. That is what this video is about. Most notably, perhaps, is the at night sequence where SpongeBob, before being haunted by all the oddities in the nighttime Krusty Krab, finds a tremendous amount of joy in being able to do his daily tasks at night.
I'm chopping lettuce at night. Look at me, I'm swabbing the bathroom at night. Ow! I burned my hand! At night.
It's that last sequence of jokes in which we find the hidden gem that resulted in Nosferatu being this random non sequitur pop culture reference at the end of this classic episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. In an interview with Polygon Magazine, storyboard director and SpongeBob writer Jay Lender provided a little bit of information as to what this joke originally was. He stated that in an earlier draft of this joke, SpongeBob was originally also going to have a fourth thing that he did at night, which was delivering the mail to Floorboard Harry, as you can see in this sketched up diagram here, who was just going to be this amorphous random character that was living under the floorboards, and at the end of the episode it was going to be Floorboard Harry that was flipping the light switch on and off, explaining the final spooky oddity that was occurring at this nighttime shift. However, there is something in comedy known as the rule of threes, where the third thing is always a little bit different and the punchline to your joke. For instance, I can now do at night, cleaning the stove, washing the bathroom, and your mom.
Plankton's cum is my favorite breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I love cum!
And Floorboard Harry, unfortunately, was a fourth thing, so his bit was cut out of the at night sequence so that it better fit the comedy rule of three. But now we have a problem. We were originally going to have Floorboard Harry be the one flipping the lights at the end of the episode, so what becomes the conclusion? What figure do we have that solves this mystery? What creature do we see underneath the mask that explains all of this? That's right, a 1920s horror villain that no child is going to understand the reference of. Nosferatu was the one flipping the light switch. And I believe that really encompasses everything that I love about SpongeBob. When you need to make a joke, it doesn't need to make sense. It doesn't need to fit perfectly in everything else that's happening with the narration. It doesn't need to fit the SpongeBob mythos. It just kind of has to be goofy and out of place. and I appreciate that about this show. Band Geeks is a masterclass in comedic writing. From its beginning to its triumphant end, it strings you along with little bits and pieces of the underdog band team coming together to put on a performance worthy of knocking the mustache off of Squilliam's eyebrows or whatever that is that he's got going on. But this episode's different. This episode is much more me. It doesn't have this fantastic story that makes a ton of sense once everything comes together. It doesn't even have a real conclusion. It's just sort of, let's throw Nosferatu into it. But the randomness and the out-of-the-box thinking that comes with some of the gags in this episode speak to me on a personal level, and that's why this is my favorite episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. If you guys want to see more SpongeBob SquarePants video essays, watch somebody else. I'm probably never doing this again. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on whatever stupid thing I do next. Whammy!